All right, welcome to the Monroe County office building. Welcome to our atrium here today. And it is my privilege to welcome you to our annual Pride flag raising ceremony here at the Monroe County office building. And I want to tell you, after decades of neglecting to acknowledge and celebrate our LGBTQIA plus community, it is really something I'm very proud of the fact that since I've been county executive, we have done a flag raising every single year, for this being the 5th year in a row. So I'm very proud of that. There's a number of people that I want to acknowledge here. I'd like to acknowledge my partner in government, the mayor of the city of Rochester, Malik Evans is here. Assembly Member Harry Bronson. Our County Clerk, Jamie Romeo. We have several county legislators who are here today. I saw Linda Hasman is here. Thank you, Linda. Santos Cruz is here. Thank you, Santos. Am I missing anybody else? No county legislators. From City Council, Mitch Gruber is here. Thank you, Mitch. We have representatives from Senator Gillibrand and Assemblymember Damon Meek's office. Let's give them a round of applause as well. I'm also happy to introduce and acknowledge the director of the Monroe County Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Department, David Scott. David's here. David, where are you? There he is, right over there. And we're also joined by Trillium Health CEO, Jason Barnicut-Kearns. So thank you, Jason. Who brought your fan club today? Nice job, Jason. All right. First of all, happy Pride, Rochester. Happy Pride. The recognition of Pride at the Monroe County office building does have a little bit of a sordid past, as I acknowledged before. But every single year I've been in office, we've made efforts to build and expand upon the traditions that show that Monroe County is a welcome and inclusive place for everyone who calls our community home. This is the second year in a row that we partnered with the City of Rochester community members, Trillium Health, to engage in a joint flag raising a celebration, which today will be more of a flag unfurling. So we're still going to do the celebration today despite the weather outside as we display the flags here in the atrium. So I want to thank the team at Trillium, who takes a large role in organizing the Pride Parade and Festival and who've worked with us to put this ceremony together, as well as all of our community members and organizations that ensure that Pride is enjoyed and celebrated in Rochester and throughout Monroe County. I also have a big thank you to the County Pride Committee. Monroe County has a Pride Committee, and they've worked hard to bring us all together, and the City of Rochester team also, who worked on today's event. If you were involved in planning our Pride events, please stand up and give us a wave so that we can all say thank you and acknowledge you, Josie, Clary, and others. All right, so we're not going to let this rain dampen our spirits. We're going to celebrate Pride here in the atrium and make sure that Pride emanates throughout the community and into the parade and festival this coming weekend. Pride Month is a time to celebrate and reflect on the resilience, joy, and diversity of the people who live, work, and raise their families here in Monroe County. The flags flown this month symbolize that LGBTQIA plus individuals are respected, they're welcomed and included, not just in our community, but also within our local government. We have a rich history of change makers and leaders in the LGBTQIA plus community who are making a difference in creating more welcoming spaces for all of our residents. And I think we have incredible leaders. Some of them are joining us here today, including the first openly gay assembly member from upstate New York, Harry Bronson. Let's give him another round of applause. We were home to Evelyn Bailey, a longtime activist and historian, who we recognized and honored shortly before her passing in 2022. We also honor the life of pioneering local activist Sue Cowell, who dedicated her life to building equality and justice through political, medical, social, and economic activism. And of course, our grand marshals in this year's parade, Sam Brett, a passionate activist. Sam is a passionate activist, performer, and longtime community volunteer who served our community for decades. And Giovanna Davis. Giovanna, a community health nurse, artist, advocate, community volunteer, and nonprofit founder. The breadth and depth of Sam and Giovanna's accomplishments are going to be shared a little bit later as they receive their sashes. You know, it's critical that we continue to support our LGBTQIA+ community and honor those who paved the way for a more inclusive society. Across the country, we're seeing communities that are reversing the tide of progress, legislating against LGBTQIA+ people and creating hostile spaces. There have been an alarming number of assaults on LGBTQIA+ people, especially transgender people and people of color. Not just physical attacks and hate crimes, but hostile rhetoric and attacks on their rights. This is why we must celebrate Pride, because we live in a world where not everyone is free. We celebrate Pride here because we live in a world where not everyone is free or safe to live as their authentic selves. But I want to make sure that every person in this community to know that their government is behind them, that Monroe County and Rochester are continuing to embrace our history of civil rights, and we recommit to recognizing and elevating the needs of the LGBTQIA+ community. I am grateful for the work of the Pride Committee, the county's DEI team, and all the incredible community organizations who are here today. You all make our community a safer, more inclusive, and more welcoming space for everyone. I am also proud to have Monroe County support and sponsor Image Out, the Rochester Gay Men's Chorus, the Pride Picnic, and the Pride Festival and the Pride Parade, which in my opinion is one of the most fun parades of the entire year. And we're very happy to help sponsor all of those events. So thank you all for being here. I look forward to continuing our celebrations, and we'll see you all this Saturday at the parade, where I know and guarantee we're going to have great weather. It's not going to be too hot like yesterday, right, or raining like today, but we're going to bring it for the parade. So I'm next going to bring this up to our MC today, who's going to help us get through the program and help celebrate Pride here in Monroe County Office Building. We have Susanna Speed. She's the Senior Director of Diversity, Equity, and Belonging at Trillium Health, who helped to plan the Rochester Pride Parade and Festival, and again, like I said, is going to MC the rest of today's event. Thank you all for being here today.
Whew. You folks are stuck with me. I'm sorry. I feel like the rain is appropriate because our community is nothing if not dramatic, right? Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. A special thank you to County Executive Bello and team for hosting us here, and to Mayor Evans and team for all the support with the planning. Thank you for your flexibility in having to shift last minute because of the weather. I also want to thank all of our incredible representatives for your continuous support and advocacy. We appreciate you so much. It has been quite the year for our community. I consider myself lucky to be working at Trillium Health, an organization invested in the health and well-being of the LGBTQ+ community, where I can be my authentic self every single day. My wife even jokes that I get to be professionally gay, and she's not wrong. But for many people in the LGBTQ+ community, this is not the case. In fact, across the country, people are fighting for basic human rights. It is a reminder that the work is never done. Their stories propel the critical work forward, and I'm proud to stand with my community and our allies, knowing that we all play a part. When we work together and make our voices heard, we have seen the difference we can make. So, in partnership with many of our elected officials, I would like to welcome a few folks up to say a few words. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mayor Malik Evans to the podium.
Thank you. And my words will be few. I was looking at my notes for this, and it said under 2 minutes. I was like, okay, wow, okay. I'll be quick. Just let me apologize for the weather. I don't know what it is about last year we had this event at City Hall. We had it earlier in the day last year, and it rained. And then now this year it's raining again. But we had a nice picnic yesterday. It was hot, but it was nice. And so we were going to do a block party, as you know, at City Hall, and we can't do the block party now because it's raining. But hopefully next year. But even though we don't have great weather, I know that we'll have great weather this weekend, and I'm looking forward to the celebration on Saturday, particularly the parade. The city has been a long-time sponsor, and we look forward to having a great, great time on Saturday. I know I will see you all there. I just want to say that we've come so far, but we still have so far to go. And I was just thinking as I was standing next to Harry when he called me and said, Mayor, do you know about this situation that happened on Monroe Avenue a couple of weeks ago where someone was assaulted, sent to the hospital, and you may have seen it on the news, and we charged them with a hate crime, as we should have, because of who someone thought that they were. So we have come a long way, but the LGBTQIA+ community needs to really celebrate these times. And this is why we set aside this time, because it's always important for us to just take a quick pause to show that the vast majority of Rochester and Monroe County residents embrace the community, love the community. And this is why this celebration, this month-long celebration, is so important, because it's important for people to know that they have that support, particularly when you have heinous acts that happened a couple of weeks ago. We have to drown that out with love. We have to drown that out with support. But we also have to make sure that we drown that out with policies and laws that stop and ameliorate that nonsense. And you see in many parts of the country, we are going backwards. But why me and the county executive thinks that this is such a big deal and important for us to do this on a regular basis, and this is why we say this to the broader community, is because we want to show that in Rochester and Monroe County that we don't want to go back. We don't want to go backwards. We want to go forward. So happy Pride Month, everyone. I look forward to unfurling the flags. I know we had to kind of pivot a little bit, but that's what good leaders do. They pivot, and the county executive is a good leader, so that's why we're going to pivot that way. So, and then lastly, I want to thank Trillium for all your work, for all the work that it takes to put the parade and everything else together. Thank you so much for your leadership in that space, and then thank you all for being here today, and let's have a great, great Pride. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Evans. At this time, I would like to welcome Assemblymember Harry Bronson to the podium.
Thank you so much, Susanna and Trillium and all the sponsors of the Pride events this year. As was mentioned, I'm Assemblymember Harry Bronson. I go by he, him, his, and I am a proud member of our LGBTQIA+ community. And boy, is that a mouthful. Can we stop with the acronyms? We gotta stop someplace. But those acronyms mean a lot, because those acronyms are our journey of our discovery, whether it's as individuals or as a group or as a community. So it really is important that we honor those acronyms. I want to thank County Executive Bello. You know, I was in the county legislature during the prior administration before Adam Bello took over. And you remember we used to fight about whether or not we could hang pride flags. Even the Democrats who hung it out the legislative window upstairs, and there was a big controversy. But my gosh, Adam, we now have a county pride committee? I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. And Mayor Evans has been a friend and a loyal supporter for our community for many years. He often shares his dad, you know, he's a preacher's son, and his dad did same-sex marriages long before it was legal and possible here in New York State. So Mayor Evans, thank you so much. And, you know, I also want to recognize my members of our Democrat majority delegation, Senators Brooke, Senator Cooney, Assembly Members Clark, Lunsford, DeMond Meeks. We work as a team, and I feel so empowered by them because they're so very supportive of our community. So I'm happy to be able to work with them, and also the unwavering support of our wonderful County Clerk, Jamie Romeo. Thank you so much. And of course, we have city council members and county legislators in the room, and I want to thank them for their ongoing support and for being here today. And also, let's give it up for our Pride Grand Marshal, Sam Brett. You know, Sam's not only a longtime friend, but you cannot go to a Pride event without seeing Sam working his butt off. I mean, he's always at these Pride events. He's been doing it for years and years, and we're so thankful for you. And Giovanna Davis, thank you so much for all the work you do for our community and making sure that in our community, we celebrate our own diversity within our community. So thank you so much, Giovanna. So, flags have long been a fundamental part of human history, symbolizing cities and towns, sports teams, proclaiming identity and priorities. For members of our LGBTQIA+ community, flags are equally important, and they're our tradition in celebrating our diversity. Our pride flags are symbols we use in celebration as well as in protest, recognizing that today, our right to live our authentic selves is under attack in many states. Our fight for our rights continues, and we raise our pride flag to protest against those who would deny our equality, those who would deny our lives and who we are. Pride flags represent our diversity as well as our togetherness and our unity, the acceptance of all people as deserving of dignity and equity in the spectrum of humanity. That no matter who you are, where you come from, what you look like, what your abilities, whom you love, how you identify, you belong. You are part of the intertwined fabric of our community. We have had many legal successes in our state protecting our rights, and we will continue to fight to protect those rights. This year, the Equal Rights Amendment is on the ballot in November. And although I can't advocate how you vote, I can educate here in the county office building. And my education is this. This state constitutional amendment will, among other things, protect a woman's right to make health decisions, including reproductive choice, and will also include protections of our right to exist and identify as our authentic selves. It will embed the legal protections we currently have, but will embed those in the state constitution. So vote the way you will, but know that's what that amendment will do. So tonight we raise our flag with pride, proud of who we are, proud to live as our authentic selves, proud to celebrate the diversity within our own community, proud to love everyone, and to see the dignity within everyone, no matter who they are, what they look like, who they love, or how they identify. Our diversity is our strength. Our LGBTQIA+ unity, that's our power. Happy Pride, everybody.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember Bronson, and a special thank you for your tireless efforts on behalf of our community, truly. All right, at this time, I would like to welcome County Clerk Jamie Romeo to the podium.
Well, happy Pride, everybody. I'm so proud to say that Pride is not just a city celebration, but a celebration across this entire county, and I'm so excited to be with you today and be part of such an enormous group of leaders that are working to constantly build a more inclusive community that I can raise my son in and know that he can be his authentic self whatever that might grow to be that he's in. I do want to take a quick minute and just acknowledge Assemblymember Bronson, because I know that for myself, having started off my journey as a staff member for you, I got to watch you take a lot of hard steps when it was not easy to do so. Becoming minority leader of the Democratic caucus in this building when it wasn't easy to do so. Running openly as a gay man for the state assembly when it wasn't easy to do so. Being part of that fight to get marriage equality on the floor and getting it passed. And because of you and all the work that you've done, you're able to inspire people all across New York State that they can do it too. And I just wanted to thank you. No, he didn't tell me to say that. I just did that in a moment. But we are so excited here to celebrate Pride, but to also remember all of the people that came before us to get us to the moment where we are, and why it's so important that we continue that fight and continue that work to make sure that, yes, we live in New York State, and it's a great state, and we love where we are, but there's still things we need to do here to make sure that we're setting the example for the rest of the country. We need to continue the work I know that we've done in our county clerk's office with Assemblyman Bronson's office when we had to push the state to meet their obligation to have that X non-binary marker for driver's licenses when they needed to do it. We need to make sure that we're pushing and holding people accountable. But I know with this incredible group of people here that we'll constantly do that. But for this week and this weekend, let's celebrate. Let's be prideful. Happy Pride.
Thank you so much. All right, at this time, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Trillium Health's President and CEO, Jason Barniket-Kearns, for a few words on behalf of Trillium Health.
Good evening. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm also a proud member of the LGBTQ+ community. Trillium Health is the leading LGBTQ+ healthcare provider. We provide primary care, supportive services to everyone in our community, regardless of their ability to pay. Trillium Health has also been leading Rochester Pride over the last 3 years with the parade and with the festival. And Pride is going to be bigger and better this year. We're so excited. And I'm really thankful to all of our staff members that have been working behind the scenes, getting ready to put on the parade and the festival. Also our community partners and community members as well. Pride is a time for us to come together to celebrate equality, love, diversity, and acceptance. We are so fortunate to be in Rochester, a city that is known for its rich cultural heritage and progressive spirit. Not everyone is so lucky. Let it serve as a constant reminder that the fight for equality is far from over, and we need to create a world where every person can live authentically and without fear. The Pride flag, it stands as a beacon of hope, love, and joy, that no matter how you identify or who you love, you belong. You are a celebrated part of the Rochester community, and we appreciate it. Thanks to County Executive Bello, Mayor Evans, for hosting this flag-raising ceremony today. We really appreciate your support, and happy Pride. Thank you.
All right, don't go far, Jason. I need you. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to have you come forward and assist me with sashing our marshals. At this time, I am absolutely delighted to introduce our 2024 Rochester Pride Marshals. This year's Pride Grand Marshal is the incredible Sam Brett. All right, you ready? It's a lot, because Sam does a lot. All right, Sam Brett, also known as Samantha Vega. Sam Brett is a native Venezuelan who first came to Rochester in the early 90s to attend the biotechnology program at the Rochester Institute of Technology. While at RIT, Sam found his love for community organizing, philanthropy, and drag. Sam was a co-organizer for the RIT Drag Show, the first college-sanctioned drag show in the region, while discovering his alter ego, Samantha Vega. In 1995, Sam attended his first ever gay pride celebration in Rochester and fell in love with the Pride Picnic and the Pride Parade. Guided by a mentor in college, Sam started volunteering at the Gay Alliance of the Genesee Valley in 1996 as a resource hotline phone operator. I didn't know that. It was there he met the elders of the gay community and learned of gay life outside of campus. In addition to GAGV, Sam has volunteered for many other organizations, including Hillside Children's Center, Rochester Museum and Science Center, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and AIDS Rochester, among others. In the past 2 decades, Sam has also served in many different leadership roles, including on the boards of AIDS Rochester, then AIDS Care, then Trillium Health, and MOCA, also now part of Trillium Health. As co-chair of the Rock Pride Planning Committee, Sam was part of the team that more than doubled Pride Festival attendance to 10,000 plus people. He also helped to make Pride more inclusive by featuring BIPOC, trans, and non-binary performers. Sam later served as co-chair of the Rock Pride Collective, a group that coordinated Pride efforts following COVID, and is the current co-chair for the Rock Pride Picnic to benefit the Rainbow Seniors Rock. Sam is the organizer and producer of the Latin Divas of Drag, the first drag show of its kind at the Great New York State Fair, featuring Latinx drag performers from all over New York State. Samantha Vega has been intertwined in Sam's life all along, and her many accomplishments include being awarded honorary Miss Gay Finger Lakes in 2024, Miss Gay Rochester in 2007, Miss Gay Syracuse in 2008, and Miss Gay Pride Buffalo in 2010. Samantha Vega can be found at Roar and is the hostess of trivia and karaoke night on Wednesdays. She also hosts many college shows and facilitates diversity presentations and trainings at regional colleges and universities. Sam was named one of Empire State Pride Agenda's community champions in 2015 and was named to the Rochester Business Journal's LGBTQ+ Power Leaders list in 2023. Oh my goodness. Wow. There's much more, but at this time, I am so proud to welcome up Sam Brett as our Pride Grand Marshal.
Hello, everyone. Oh, happy Pride. It's usually a crown, but okay, a sash will do. My name is Sam Brett. I'm a marginalized community in Rochester. I'm a Red Sox fan. So, see, this is what I get on the streets all the time. But hello, everyone. My name is Samuel Antonio Brett Sanchez. Can I say that? Anyone? Okay, maybe not. This is why I go by Sam Brett. My pronouns are he, him, his. I arrived in Henrietta 30 years ago on a hot summer day in July to attend an English as a second language program at RIT, prior to starting a biotech program also at RIT. It was my first time to Rochester, and I had never visited before, and I had only been in the USA for less than a year prior to that. But anyways, I came from Venezuela. And I've always known that was, a little different. But it was here at RIT and in Rochester that I discovered who I was. I was able to explore my authentic self in ways that I felt and still feel are not possible or safe in my native home of Venezuela. I also feel that it's not safe for my family. For me to be out and for my family to be connected to me while being an out gay man. Here in Rochester, I found a community that did not judge me for my sexuality, my identity, whom I loved, or even who I lusted after. Yes. That's in my Grindr profile, professional gay, as Susanna has too. So I found in Rochester my tribe, my chosen families, and when I came here, I was only 16. I was very young and impressionable, and all of you impressed me and raised me to be who I am today. Sorry, this is gonna go for a long time. I'm taking a page out of Harry Brunson's book. I'm taking 20 minutes of the 2 that I was given. So, To me, my queer inclinations, my abnormalities, are my gift because my mere existence makes me abnormal, and it makes me occupy the space that I feel I deserve in this world. I have to question what it means to be normal, and to be honest, I don't want to be normal. The features that make me an alien to so many also make it easier for me to cut through the bullshit, to see through the systems, the racist structures that we have in our communities, in our society, and that organize every part of our lives. A few years ago, I had a local executive director once referred to me as, "You're just a drag queen." I am more than just a drag queen. I am a father. I am a gay man, an organizer. I'm an engineer. I am a friend. I am a caretaker. But most of all, I'm a human, deserving of the dignity and love. Skip ahead, Susana read this. But this also is not about the way I look or how we look. It also is how we think about LGBTQIA rights. Queer and trans people don't need policies that allow us to buy rainbow merchandise from multinational Target and Walmart, Amazon, or become politicians. I'm not interested, not qualified, not a citizen, or join the military and sign papers so that our partnerships are recognized and valid. We need liberation, and that means liberation from racial capitalism, liberation from the prison industrial complex, liberation from colonial states that entrench and naturalize the binaries that we're faced with. And that's what Pride, since Stonewall and even way before that, has always been about, that liberation. So to my fellow queer and trans peers, I invite you to indulge, to give yourself permission to be not normal, to walk through the world the way you want to, even if there's no guarantee that you won't change your mind later. Even I was bisexual a long time ago. That was just a phase. I'm just a gay man now. But who knows? I might find a partner and I might be pansexual later on. Who knows? It's my life. So even if there's no label that perfectly captures how you feel, chances are you won't. There's still a chance that you can just be yourself. So find your tribe and have them support you and raise you to be who you are. And for those of you who consider yourselves allies, try being accomplices. Be a co-conspirator. Stand shoulder to shoulder with us, not just when things are good, but when things are crumbling, like right now. And look for the little ways that the world makes you different, a little queer, if you will, and indulge in those differences too. To my entire LGBTQI plus community, please note that we have your back. We see you for who you are. I am in great company here with Giovanna Britton. I love you guys. It's amazing to be here. I stand here on many shoulders. The late Ebony Bailey, Sue Cowell, my great friend Michael Gamilla. I miss all these folks tremendously. But we have a way to go, and we have to raise the next generation of queers to take this further. So thank you very much. Have a good Pride. There's 5 million Pride events before the parade. I know the parade is pretty, but go tomorrow night. We have our only trans event of the Pride festivities in Rochester. So go attend those. Support queer businesses, queer lives. Love you a long time. Happy Pride.
Thank you, Sam. We truly appreciate all that you do for our community. All right, I'm very excited to announce that this year's Pride Honorary Marshal is Giovanna Davis. Giovanna Davis, a community health nurse with more than 2 decades of experience as a healthcare professional. Giovanna is also an actress, a 4-time self-published author, and a columnist for Blackout magazine, which allows her to share her knowledge, compassion, experience, and encouragement to those in the LGBTQIA+ and allied communities. Giovanna is the founder and president of the nonprofit organization Wave Women, Inc., and is the CEO/owner of Linge Enterprises, LLC. Did I say that right? Okay. She is also a member of the Community Initiative for the Local United Way, a member of the University of Rochester Community Advisory Board, a participant in Metro Justice of New York, and is an ordained minister. In 2023, Giovanna was featured on Rochester Business Journal's Power List of LGBTQ+ business leaders. She received the honorary Fatima Woods Award in both 2018 and 2021 by Next Generation Men of Transition, Rock Black Pride, and Blackout Magazine for her contributions to the community. Giovanna was also honored with the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition's 2024 Monica Roberts Advocacy Award, a national recognition of the work she does as a Black transgender advocate. I'd like to welcome up Giovanna Davis.
I'm very honored to be here. Thank you all so much. It is an incredible honor to stand before you today as your honorary Pride Marshal. As we come together to celebrate Pride, we are not just celebrating the progress we have made as LGBTQ+IA individuals, but also to celebrate the rich tapestry of diversity that makes our community vibrant and strong. From our LGBTQ+IA siblings to our allies and accomplices, each one of you brings a unique, invaluable perspective that enriches our collective experiences. As we march, dance, and celebrate this coming Saturday, let us remember the pioneers who paved the way for us. Let us honor those who fought tirelessly for our rights and our abilities to be able to have this celebration. Let us also stand in solidarity with those of us, such as myself, who continue to fight against discrimination and injustice, even still. The celebration of our pride is a beacon of hope and a declaration of our unity. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to our pride and making this year's Pride celebration a reality. Your dedication and hard work has created a space where everyone can feel seen, heard, and loved. Here's to a joyous and inclusive Pride celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Giovanna. At this time, I'd like to bring County Executive Bello and Mayor Evans to the podium.
Let's see, find it. Ah, there it is.
Do you want to read
You still want me to start, or you want to start
first
this
one?
time?
Yeah, I can read the first one and
Okay.
you read the... Okay, we have a joint proclamation just commemorating Pride Month because we like to proclaim things around here. And we won't read it in its entirety. We'll just read maybe the first and last items here. But it says, whereas Monroe County and the city of Rochester, New York are home to a diverse, vibrant, and active LGBTQIA+ community whose rich culture enhances our broader community. Thanks to more than half a century of activism, Rochester and Monroe County have become more welcoming and accepting communities for our LGBTQIA+ family, friends, and neighbors. And
whereas the celebration of Pride Month provides an opportunity for all residents to learn about and appreciate the history and experiences of the LGBTQIA+ community, to support their ongoing efforts for equality, and to stand in solidarity against injustice. And, do you want to do the last part?
And whereas, so where are we? Here? Oh yeah, and whereas all of Monroe County and the city of Rochester recognize the importance of fostering an environment where all people, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression, are free to live without fear of discrimination, prejudice, or violence. We affirm and celebrate the rights of the LGBTQIA+ individuals to grow and thrive while living authentically, knowing that by doing so, our community is in a better place. The promise of our nation is that cultures and identities that compromise our community enhance it, because we are stronger together. Now, therefore, we, Malik D. Evans, Mayor of the City of Rochester, New York, and Adam J. Bello, County Executive, do hereby proclaim July 2024 to honor and celebrate Pride Month in Rochester and Monroe County, and we call upon every resident to recognize, honor, and celebrate the LGBTQIA community. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, County Executive Bello and Mayor Evans, for your ongoing support of the LGBTQ+ community. At this time, we will be doing a pride flag unfurling, which is a word I've been using a lot today. Yes. In true Rochester fashion, the weather threatened not to cooperate, so we are currently on Plan B, or maybe Plan C. So I'm going to be counting down once Tyler tells me I can. Oh, okay. We're going to have the folks doing the unfurling go up now.
Where's the elevator?
We're ready? All right, I have the easy job. I just have to count down. All right, when I get to 1, we will do the unfurling. 3, 2, 1. They're beautiful. Thank you, folks. Thanks, Tyler. All right, so at this time, I would like to introduce the Rochester Women's Community Chorus, who will be performing Be the Change. The RWCC is dedicated to using music as the vehicle for messages of peace, hope, understanding, and cooperation within the global community. Let's welcome them.